Hello and welcome to the Beyond Average Journeys of Growth and Increasing Value interview series. I'm your host, Kristen Carlson, and today I'm joined by James Groves, managing partner and co-owner of Wall Drywall Repair. So James, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Nice being here.
Awesome. So can you kick it off by just giving us a brief intro about who you are and what you do?
Sure. I'm James Groves. I have been with Wall Drywall Repair a little over 10 years now, and I came on after a 25-year career in the entertainment industry where I managed warehouses for a large corporate event production company. And with my experience running multiple employees and building out businesses, I kind of came on as a coach where I was just kind of consulting. And then it became pretty clear that we wanted to scale the business. The business name is Hole in the Wall, and my business partner, his name is Bill Dement, and he had Dement Painting. And I said, if this business was called Dement Drywall, I would not be here because I saw Hole in the Wall as a nationwide brand, over 10 years ago. And so then I came on as partner, and we have built it we started off in my partner's home bedroom office. He built a little office on his bedroom, and his bed would be right there, and my computer would be right there. And then, within 6 months, we moved out of that office, and we've now got 23 employees and a very successful business here in Orlando.
Oh, congratulations. Awesome. So you mentioned earlier that you are the franchisor, so you're actually building a franchise business. Can you tell me?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've started even 10 years ago wanting to build out all of our processes with the end game of creating franchises in the future. We weren't expecting it to take 10 years, but a few challenges along the way. We obviously had to get the trademark. When I came on board, we didn't have Hole in the Wall as a trademark, and so we had to get that trademarked. We had to get the IP for like holeinthewall.com, and we wanted to make sure that we had the right CRM system, build out all of our training. And so then really the past year and a half, we've been building out the franchise model where we've now created a business in a box that somebody in another city other than Orlando can purchase, buy a truck, buy our package, and then they can go create, a great business. Because we have a training facility. What's kind of behind me in this room back there, that's our training lab. We created an academy called the School of Rock Drywall Academy.
Awesome.
Where you run our current employees as well as franchisees through, where the franchises come through for a 2-week training process. We've got books, we've got hands-on training. They do ride-alongs. We send some of our very qualified technicians to their location for the first week for training. So by the time they're done with us, they're able to really create a very successful business. We just sold a unit in Lakeland, Polk County area, and in the Villages, and they're already off, less than a month later, making money and making all those customers happy.
Excellent. So are those your two franchisees, or do you have more? You're just
We just sold the first one in December of 2023, and then we sold the second unit in January, and we had our very first franchise training in February. So we just launched a brand that's going to, I'm ready to take it slow. I'm not in a hurry to sell a million units yet.
Could explode on you here. So did you have a mentor that you worked with to build the franchise out, or how did you figure that out?
Yeah, we hired a firm out of Atlanta called FMS, Franchise Marketing Systems, and they basically became our coaches. And they would guide us down the path. They help us create, because in franchising, you need to create what they call an FDD, the franchisor's disclosure documents. And so they spearheaded the FDDs. They helped us kind of launch our pro forma and our business model. And then we took that and then we run with it. We built our own website, we built our own brochure, our own brand guide, hired all of the designers ourselves. We've been doing this a long time, so I've got a lot of experience doing those things. But the ins and outs of a franchise, we weren't necessarily attuned to. We are now. So now we kind of we're off to the races.
And have you talked about what type of culture you want to build within this franchise?
Yeah, we really strive to have a very strong support culture, and especially now as we're still emerging as an emerging brand. The franchisees need to understand they're not alone. That's the problem when you're in business by yourself. you start from scratch, you're doing business in a vacuum. It's hard to know what to do. That's why you have coaches and you have people that are out there helping. But being able to guide them, they already have the IP, they already have the logos, we build them landing pages and websites and social media stuff. So they get to hit the ground running. And so we always say that it's like we're starting them off on second base, and then we're their third base coach, calling them home, just so they have those. So the culture of support, obviously our core values, we are integrity, honesty. We don't like to cheat customers. We're out there trying to tell the truth. We always been a firm believer of, if you have good customer service, if you treat the customer right, then you are going to grow your business. And we had somebody on our podcast just a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about how customer service is the superpower. Even if you make a mistake, if you kill them with your customer service, then they're going to refer you regardless of how that situation started out, but you finished it well.
Awesome. And does that franchisee need to know drywall? I mean, do they need to understand or do the business already?
Yeah, not really. We really have two models that we're working on. One is the owner operator. So someone that might be handy, maybe they're a handyman or they know some drywall, but they don't know how to run a business, right? Just because you know how to do drywall doesn't mean you're going to be a good business person. I know guys who have been mechanics that don't really make good business owners, but they can fix a car real well. So that's part of our training process. We teach them the basics. Here's how the marketing, the network marketing, how to outfit their office. So I've got training for all of that. And then really how does the job flow run? When you have a customer that calls or emails with a request, how does that process work and how our CRM works? So we can teach somebody who does not know necessarily how to do drywall, but maybe has a little bit of a skill set in it to be an owner operator. Or like our two existing franchise units, they're executives. They hired employees to do the drywall. We train their employees to do the drywall repair, and then they run the model in their territory. So they're the bosses. They do the estimates, but they hired somebody else to actually do the repairs.
Excellent. What was one of your big challenges at putting this all together?
So we've had a few along the way. I mean, we turned down, I mentioned earlier, getting the trademark. We tried for 3 years to get the trademark. And the hole in the wall logo has hole in the wall in our circle. And we eventually, after 3 years, hired another attorney, and she was able to get the logo trademarked, which has the name of the brand in the logo. So it means that we actually had the rights to the hole in the wall. And then just recently, we actually got the word mark, the service mark for the words hole in the wall. So that was a big hurdle. We did not, I've always wanted holeinthewall.com. Our very first website was holeinthewalldrywallrepair.com. Like, that's too long. You can't put that on an email, James at holeinthewalldrywallrepair.com wouldn't work. So we had some other ones we used. And then about 4 years ago, it cost me a little bit of money, but holeinthewall.com became available. I grabbed it. And so those are some of the back end operational things that I wanted to make sure we had before we launched. And then being able to get our technicians trained. When we first started, I would have a technician that'd be an apprentice for 6 months to 2 or 3 years maybe before they were actually able to grow into a truck and be their own lead on the road making money. Well, that's no way to scale a business. It's hard for me to get somebody in and be able to scale. If I wanted to grow my business here, I've got 6 full-time leads on the road now. I need 10. So I needed to build a way to get somebody onboarded, get them trained to our standards, and be able to hold them accountable fast, which is why we built the hole in the wall drywall, the School of Rock Drywall Academy. And this way we can get them onboarded fast. And then we've proved it out. We've proved it out multiple times now. We can take somebody who has been, they're a little bit handy, but they don't necessarily know how to do all the techniques. Within a couple of weeks, they're actually out on the road making money.
Okay. And do they become certified, or are you able to certify them to a certain skill level?
Yeah, we're actually working on an accreditation. So we actually have a trade accreditation in the drywall repair. Not yet. We're working on it. This probably going to be another year or so away, but we've got to run a few more tests and a few more classes through our academy. But our goal is you come through the academy, you walk away with a certification. They have multiple tiers. So you have your entry level, then you keep moving forward as you progress in your progress.
Awesome. So are you able to maintain work-life balance then, getting this off the ground?
Yeah, we've been pretty blessed. Now, understand, I came from the entertainment industry, so the show must go on, no matter what time of day it is. I get phone calls at 2, 3 a.m. When shows weren't going well. So for me, working weekends and evenings isn't new. But when I came to Hole in the Wall, we decided that we don't do weekend work. Occasionally, for a special occasion, we'll do a Saturday job. But we all have families. People go to church, so we don't do Sunday work. And then I have been able to train one of my technicians. Where he's my success story. He came to us from the food service industry. He was an executive chef at Universal and in restaurants, and he didn't like that life, the weekends and evenings and all the holidays being away from his family. And he was handy, and so I hired him as a helper, 8 years ago. And he started off as a helper, and then we put him in his own truck, and then he became my number one technician. And then I brought him in as my general manager. And so now he runs the day-to-day of the entire office. Mike Elliott is my general manager for the Orlando location. So he's liaison between my customers and my technicians. All my estimators tee up to him, so he makes sure that the estimates are going out proper. So because he is there, able to run the day-to-day of the drywall business, it has freed me up for the past couple of years to really focus my time and attention on our podcast, on franchising, on business development, and going out and just letting people understand who we are in our community. We've been here a long time, but we're still finding out that networking groups are important. Going out to Chamber of Commerce events are important, and BNI are important. So that's me. I kind of make sure my time is spread, shouting the hole in the wall from the mountaintops.
Awesome. And so it seems like you put that into your culture for the business and the franchisees too, that we're going to only work during the week and we're not working weekends. Is that what I heard?
Our goal is to have the good, because if you want to work weekends and evenings, then you can work for somebody else. You could probably make okay money doing that. But if you want to have a work-life balance, if you want to watch your kids' Little League game, go to church or some flavor, you need to have that work-life balance. It's hard work owning a business. So early in the game, there were definitely weeks when my partner and I would forego a paycheck and we would have to work long hours, and I'm doing, proposals on weekends and evenings. But the goal was to always have this balance, because we don't want to sacrifice the now for future gain. We know we need to save money, we need to invest in our future, but there's only going to be one time when my daughter would have a ballet recital, so I want to make sure that I want to go to those things as often as possible. So we encourage them to have that balance. Typically, the people who come on board as a franchisor are looking. They also want that as well, but are willing to work hard, but knowing that the payout in a few years is that they can have a little more normality.
Well, I applaud you. That is awesome, because that's definitely something we coach and try to get people to work normal work hours. It sounds like you have built an amazing franchise and business. I mean, how would you describe it beyond average? How are you closer to best in class?
In Orlando, which is really where we see our competitors, and not to disparage those who are out there, but there's not many people who can touch us. We hire background checked employees, no one that's got violent or no one's got felonies, no drug usage. We drug test employees. We have a quality of people that come work for us. I need to be able to trust somebody in your home when the husband or the father aren't there and they're safe. Unlike a typical drywall installer, they can be rough. They can be drug addicts and felons. You don't know, because the house is empty. They just kind of go in and put up drywall and they leave. Well, not us. We literally go places in people's homes. We knock on the door. Hi, I'm James. I'm here with Hole in the Wall. I'm here to fix it. The problem in your bathroom ceiling. They take us in their home, past their dog and their kids eating breakfast, and into the bedroom, places that they don't even take their family. I wouldn't allow my mother-in-law to come into my own master bathroom, but yet we are in people's homes, in their master bathrooms on a daily basis. So we have to be trustworthy. So being able to have those full-time W-2 employees that we can then control and keep them accountable, and they're, of course, obviously they're trained. So that which they show up in logoed vehicles, they show up well-dressed in logoed shirts, and we have a 1-year warranty where we honor our workmanship for a year, and which is different, because you hire a handyman or someone who's kind of a fly-by-night and you don't like their work, we go back and do lots of work for people who hired someone on the cheap and they disappeared and they can't get them back to do the job right. So, obviously our reputation precedes us. Great 5-star reviews on Google, hundreds and hundreds of them. Word of mouth is big. So that kind of brings us, in Orlando. So we wanted to transition that same best in class mentality to the franchise as well, making sure that we have the best training, making sure we have the best marketing team. I've got a marketing company that I actually house in my warehouse, Marketing Smarty Pants with Trish Murphy, which I think you know.
Yeah.
And she's here in the office with me, doing her job, and she world class. So she takes care of all of our branding. So I don't have to, because I got this expert in her.
Yes.
And so the franchisees get all of that as part of just a low entry fee to kind of get in. So
Awesome. So how do you see attracting potential franchisees?
well, that's the trick, right? I mean, I know it's great. I know that you can get into a franchise for under $100,000 and you're out there making good money, but getting in front of those people is the challenge. And frankly, the franchise brokerages, they're expensive. They are, they take 60% of your franchise fee, which is a big chunk of change. So obviously we're on a shoestring budget. We try not to spend too much money. So we have found ways to market through social media. And we actually just engaged in a firm that they're going to partner us with social media influencers. So someone who might be in a do-it-yourself YouTube channel or a TikTok channel or whatever, then they can then have Hole in the Wall as one of their brands that they could talk about. And if they sell a franchise, then they get a percentage of the franchise fee, which is really new in the franchise game, because typically you have a franchise broker who has multiple brands that they're trying to sell. And so they get lots of leads, and that lead, they could have thousands of leads, but maybe they want a restaurant or they want a fitness center. Home service brands are the fastest growing sector that there is. And so getting the word out that, listen, there's 140 million homes in America. 97% of them have drywall on their walls and or ceilings. It's a $13 billion a year business. So getting that information out to those people is the hardest part. But we're doing it slowly but surely, making it work. And it's also a great opportunity if you are in a foreign country and want to start a business in America. We can help you get your E2 visa. It's a business in a box. You can come on, hit the ground running. So we have to educate people in other countries that, well, what is drywall? I mean, if you're in Colombia, you may not know what drywall means. So we have to educate them on that. So we've got partners out there kind of selling for us and educating people. Slow process, but again, we're not in a hurry. If I sold 5 units this year, I'd be happy. I'm not in a hurry. If I sold 100, I'd be stressed. I might have to work those weekends and evenings a little bit more, but I'm okay growing organically and not spending a ton of money at the start. Because again, the franchisees are who are going to sell the rest of the franchises. And if I have bad ones, it hurts us. So I got to make sure that I'm hiring or selling, we call them awarding franchises to the proper people.
Selecting.
Discuss like the right ones, qualify them.
Excellent. Well, I'm excited for you to come down to Naples.
Yeah, right.
You're starting in the right state. I think there's so much construction going on right now. So I'm sure your business will explode here, and it sounds amazing. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Naples is a hotbed. So I know you guys are still doing hurricane damage from a year ago. When we had Hurricane Irma come to Orlando.
We're still dealing with Irma in our.
With Irma, are you still dealing with Irma? Yeah, in Orlando, because we did not get a direct hit in Irma, but for 2 years we were doing Irma damage. And as far as I'm concerned, anything Tampa south is a gold mine. I've got calls on a weekly basis. Can you come down to this area? Not yet. Sarasota, Bradenton, Tampa, Naples. Those are all really hotbeds. So hopefully we'll get some people bite down there. And frankly, if they do it soon, then they'll be ready for hurricane season this year. They can be trained up and running. Because hurricane season is just around the corner.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time today, James, and educating me. It sounds awesome. Awesome business. And it's great meeting you and learning so much about your entrepreneurial journey.
Excellent. Thank you.
And to everyone watching, I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.